Hello, everyone. As you know, my name is Zenzi Sewa, and today my guest is Alain Salis, and he is a mind clearing, I say technician, but he does mind clearing. And we're going to hear his journey of his sort of spiritual awareness, what brought him to this stage, and what he does to help others. So without so much ado, and I want to say, Alain is in Kansas City, Missouri, and of course I'm in London. So hello, Alain, how are you?
Bonjour, Zenzi. Actually, I'm from France. I was born and raised in south of France, yeah. And I've been living in the US since 1993, so it's been a while. And I'm basically a doctor of chiropractic and a mind-body expert, right?
A chiropractor, very good. Okay, so what brought you to this stage of be doing mind clearing? What was the beginning? What jolted you in your life? Let's hear your story, please.
Yeah, so always, I mean, most of the time, we are being led because of life story, it's like what's pushing us to learn more about life and our spirit and our spirituality. And so basically, I used to live on my sailing boat in south of France, and I used to run boat there, right? So I was minding my own business, Zenzi, right? And so I was, enjoying myself. Yeah, exactly. Quite a nice party all the time and everything. And the rest of the year, when I was not working, I used to buy a South Hemisphere ticket, right? And so I was basically a sun chaser, right? And maybe a party chaser too. By the way.
You like the
Anyway,
sun.
yeah, exactly. Always, I still love it, of course. And so what happened, I did that like for seven years, and one day I just had I don't know how to describe it. I just saw myself as helping people, right? And so you have to understand that nobody in my family was into healthcare or doctors or MDs or healing things. I had no clue about healing, right? And so I just knew it's kind of like my mission in life has been given to me in a way, right? So I couldn't say no. You cannot say no to those kind of things. I guarantee you that.
Well, you can,
So
but you have difficulty.
exactly. And so I was thinking, okay, so how, I'm going to do that. So I started to talk to my clients. And one of my clients told me, hey, you know what, Alain, there's a Chinese doctor, a friend of mine is coming to visit me for the weekend, right? Would you like to meet him? I say, heck yes, of course I want to meet that guy. And so sure enough, I met that Chinese doctor that was French, actually. And he gave me 3 books to read, right? And so one of the book was called The Tao Te Ching, which is a profound and deep Chinese philosophy. The other one was called the Hara, Hara, which is a Japanese philosophy. That's the center of gravity of human being. That's why Japanese people traditionally they kill themselves in the belly, right, underneath the belly button, right. And so there was a philosophy that came with it, and finally a book that described the title was the man between the earth and the sky, which is more acupuncture. So I couldn't wait, to just to meet that guy. And so sure enough, I went to his office. He gave me a treatment, and we started to chat about, Chinese medicine. And so I asked him a few questions. I said, so what I'm supposed to do? What do you think? He said, well, if you really want to know what you're doing, you need to go to China, spend 10 years, learn Chinese, study the old text, and after you'll be ready. I say, well, Philip, I'm 30 years old. I want to practice one day, right? So I will always remember, he look at me and say, why you look strong? Why not chiropractic? I say, what's this? So, of course, he gave me some information, about the chiropractic school and all that. So I got, the information back. And sure enough, my friend at the time, she helped me. She's an English teacher, right? So she helped me to translate that. And what I love about it, Zenzi, was they talk about the innate intelligence, your own ability to heal yourself. And that was fascinating to me. And so I went to America, right, and bought a airfare ticket and got my first treatment with a French woman who was student there, right? And I loved it, and I decided. So you have to picture myself. I used to have long hair, hearing, drunk every night, and party all the time. And I told my parents, oh, by the way, I'm selling my boat, my business, and I'm going to become a doctor in America.
Let me stop you there for a minute. Because you said you did a lot of partying, but what were you doing before you got on this road apart from partying? What were you in business?
Yeah, I had my own business, was renting boat in south of France. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was living on my selling boat, and I was renting boat in south of France.
Okay.
And I had a laundromat, and things like that, just to work with tourists only 7 months a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So anyway, I went to, yeah. That was like, people say, well, perfect life, right? You enjoy. I mean, I was like, I had my own business as I think I was 22 years old. So I was fairly young, right? Anyway, so went to America, sure did it, sold everything. And to make a long story short, 3 years later, I graduated from chiropractic school, right? So I started to do what they told me, right? So here's the thing, people will get better, but pretty soon they will plateau. And just to maintain, their health benefit, they will have to come to see me again. So because I knew one thing for sure, that when you've got a problem in life, right, in order to resolve your problem, meaning you have no more problem, you're moving on, you don't even think about the problem anymore, you need to know two things. You need to know what's causing your problem.
Yes.
And you need to know how to fix it.
Yes.
If you know what's causing your problem, you need to know how to fix it. There's no problem. It can be a health problem, it can be a relationship problem, it can be a prosperity problem. We're done. We're moving on, right?
Yeah.
And so I thought, well, why they still have to come to see me? It means probably their problem are not resolved, right? And so I had to work on that, and that's the law of the cause and effect, right? Of course. But I like to tell my 8-year-old son now, I like to tell him cause and consequences.
And cause and the consequences.
Yeah, because he understands that, there's some punishment sometimes when you don't listen, right?
The consequences, yes.
That's the consequences part. And so anyway, so I was kind of, this is not it, right? And so I started to research things. And I came up that, the inflammation in your body can create like joint pain and all that. So I become a specialist on that. So you will come to, even now, you can come to the office, and your body will tell me, I will do what we call muscle testing, right?
Yes.
And so your body will tell me which organ are under stress and what's causing the stress, right? Like that, we can decrease the inflammation. So I made a big practice out of that. I was seeing, I had 4 employees, and I was seeing 250 patients a week. So that was a lot. So I was living the American dream, right? That's how they call it there, right? So the big house, the best neighborhood, blah, 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 all that things. But when you think you've got it all, and this is it, you got it. Well, life usually pull out something out of the sleeve.
A joke.
Exactly. They would say, wait a minute, hold on. And so basically, that's what happened to me within a year, because I was so focused on my business and all that, right? And so I burned out. And also when I was coming home after work, I was there, but I was not present. So my relationship, because I married a French woman that I met in Kansas City, we had a daughter, Maya. So my relationship went down the drain. So within a year, I ended up divorcing.
Oh.
Because I felt depressed.
Ouch.
And all that, yeah. So, and when there's a kid, it's never a handshake, right? I mean, never.
I like the way you said that. Never a handshake.
Never a handshake, for sure. And so anyway, and I got depressed, and I lost even my juice, of helping people. I cannot believe that even I'm saying that now. But it happened, right? So I felt depressed, overworked and burned out and all that, whatever. And so what happened, my business went, of course, from thriving to failing, right? I mean, now, the 4 employees were gone. I was by myself, and I was even living in this office, I mean, don't get me wrong, it was nice. I had 8 treatment room and all that. But the problem is like, I couldn't.
You couldn't
I
function.
thought, quite frankly, I thought, between you and me, I thought I would spend 3 months living there and have to get a house. I spent 3 years in this office, but
Oh,
you know what? They used to call me the gypsy, right? So I guess I had some predisposition for that. But I had all the necessity, right? I installed a shower, but I had everything. I cannot complain, right?
yeah.
Anyway, and so this was, and after the cherry on the cake, like we say in America, the cherry
Yes.
on the cake is like, I got diagnosed with early stage of colon cancer. So here
Oh,
I am telling you what to do to prevent cancer and all those big killers, right? And cardiovascular disease. And here I am following, obviously, what I recommend to my patient and contracting the disease. So I have to reinvent myself. I've had to redefine everything that I knew about health, about relationship, about prosperity, about my job, right? So, but I
yes.
knew one thing. I knew one thing for sure, that there was something within me that
Yeah.
was pushing me to sabotage my health, to sabotage my relationship, and to sabotage my prosperity, right? So my quest was, okay, I needed to heal for myself, but I always knew that at the same time I will help myself, that will translate into helping my patient and others, much more than I could before. And
Yes.
that's how, the mind clearing quest started.
Mhm. So you got to this stage where you realized that what you were doing for others, you had to do for yourself, that something was deeply wrong. So now you started the mind clearing. How did you go about that for yourself?
So again, the same philosophy, right? You got a problem. In order to resolve your problem, you need to find what's causing it and how to fix it. So I understood that there's a mind-body connection, right? I always understood that. So in order to treat people and treat myself holistically, right,
Yeah.
you need to find out, address, and assess your physical stress, the chemical stress, which is called inflammation, and also the mental and emotional stress. So
Yes.
for the physical stress, chiropractic treat only 20% of the nervous system. So I
Yeah.
wanted to treat 100% of the nervous system. So I became a cranial specialist, right? So I've got that under control, and I always had some zenzi, I always had some insight. And I did create my own energetical technique, right? That people love it and all that. So the physical was under control, right? And after the chemical, I already knew what's causing it, right?
Yes.
But to fix it, I discovered that when you supercharge the body with oxygen, it will create miracle in the body, right? Because all the infectious agent, for example, viruses, bacteria, parasite, all that, they cannot survive in an oxygen-rich environment. They love acidic environment, right? So instead of doing an alkaline diet that will cost you a fortune and you're never going to follow it, I mean, it's too hard. I
Yeah.
create some mixture, very cheap mixture that will, if you take a pH strip, you could see that your pH was going more toward 7.3, 7.4, right? Which is what you want. You want to supercharge your body with oxygen. So we had that good, right? Physical, chemical. Now what? What I'm going to do about emotional and mental stress, right? So I started to learn technique about emotional technique, emotional release technique, trapped emotion, things like that. And I got some success. I mean, all this because cancer cells, they don't love oxygen also. It's like the equivalent of a vampire looking straight at the sun, right? That's not going to work, right? So I was able to heal myself, right, naturally of a cancer, right? And after, I remarried. Now I'm remarried, and I've got a 8 years old son, right?
Okay.
And my practice went from, it was good, very good, but because the overhead was so low the way I'm practicing now, I doubled my income, my personal income, right? And also what I have to say, there's no way I can burn out, because the result that I experience with my patient now, they just, when they thank me, it really comes from the heart.
Yes.
I understand it's still a business, there's money involved, of course, but you can tell that they
You've got.
appreciate the deeper
Yeah.
transformation and the growth that they go through, right? And so basically what happened with mental and emotional, I knew deep in my heart that there was something that I had to study for myself. I had to study the mind. And what I discovered is literally mind-blowing, if I can say that. It's crazy. And those are information, you can Google it right now.
Yes.
It's very accessible. You don't have to have a PhD of nothing. Everybody can access to that. And so the first things that I discovered, it's like we live in two separate worlds at the same time.
Yes.
So what does it mean? It means that we've got the outer world, right?
Yes.
So what is the outer world? It's called your conscious mind. It's your self-identity, it's your personality, it's what you are aware of, right? And so that's basically you're aware of what? Your thought, your emotion, your feeling, your action and behavior, right? And so it's how also you perceive your reality around you. And after you've got the mysterious hidden mind, very secretive. And we're going to call it the subconscious mind. And this subconscious mind, then Z record everything you have been doing in your life from age 0 to now.
That's right.
All your skills, like as a mother, as a podcaster, as a human being, right, are stored in that subconscious mind.
Yes.
All the action in your body that doesn't require you to think about it, what we call the autonomic nervous system. It's stored in your subconscious mind, like your heartbeat, like your breathing, right? And so I said, well, let's investigate that mysterious and hidden mind of ours, right? And so what I found out was crazy. What I'm going to tell you, that's going to redefine for some people, right? But for lots of people, that's going to redefine who they are at their core.
Yes.
It's going to show them that what they think they are so much more.
Exactly.
So
we are not our mind, we are not our body.
Exactly. And so what happened is like the subconscious mind, well, the conscious mind processes data at 11 bits per second. The subconscious mind processes data at 11 million bits per second. Excuse me? 1 million times more powerful. So I say, oh, wow. So it's so powerful. Let's investigate even more. And so what I'm going to tell you, if some people are standing up, I want them, please, to sit down. If some people are sitting down, I want them to buckle up.
Yes.
Because what you're going to hear, it's mind-blowing.
Right.
So what it is, it's this. The conscious mind, right, which is your self-identity and who you are, it's only 5 to 10% of your mind. Therefore, the subconscious mind is 90 to 95% of your mind. And yet, when you want to heal, grow, and transform yourself, we focus on what? Only on the conscious mind, meaning that we're using 5 to 10% of our mind and brain power. So I thought to myself, hey, you know what? Why don't we bring the subconscious mind to the party, right? Do you think that would be a good thing? What do you guys think?
Of course.
And so that's what the mind clearing is about, all about that. And so what I discover, that actually we are all programmed. Nobody can escape programming. Nobody. Right? And so what do you mean, Alain, we are programmed? Yeah, of course. And that program is in our subconscious mind. So let me explain that a little bit.
Yes.
So especially from age 0 to 6 to 8 years old, what's happening, we're like sponges, right? And we are innocent, right? So all what we see in the outer world, we assume, we assume things, we assume it's good for us, we assume everything, right? And so if you make the assumption long enough, repetition, that's going to become a program. That's one way we can program ourselves. So let me give an example to the audience, if you allow me.
Please.
So let's pretend there's a little girl that sees her dad drunk every night, come back home and beat up his wife.
Yes.
So what do you think that little girl, when she grows up, is going to attract as a romantic relationship?
That type of man, because she will equate a man to love her as the man like the father. And she will then think that when she attracts that type of man, and that man then turns around and treats her the way her father treated mother, is fine, because that's life. That's what she grew up knowing.
Because she has been programmed.
She's been programmed to see this is what a husband does to his wife.
Totally agree. 80 to 90% of the people will agree, but I want to make two insights about that. The first thing, when you ask that woman now, and you say, hey, do you enjoy to get beat up like your mom? What's she going to say? She's going to say, heck no, right? So the conscious mind is going to say no. But the subconscious mind has been programmed as men are predators and women are prey, right? So who's in charge here, right?
Mm-hmm. From her subconscious mind, it's the man.
That's it.
So she bound is what he does.
And now there's another thing I want to point out. How she's going to attract that guy? Going to say, hey, you, can you come and beat me up? Right? It's not going to work that way. So it's kind of like our subconscious mind are connected to each other. You see, that's what we say, we are all one. By the way, doesn't mean you have to love everybody. No, it means you are connected. And so here's how it works. So her subconscious mind is going to say, look, this guy there, he has been bullied. And now he's a bully. He's got the predator program. That's perfect fit. That subconscious mind of that guy is going to say, oh, she's got the prey program. So we're going to pair up. And like we say in America, it takes two to tango, right? And so we're going to start that dance.
Yes.
Right? And there's three different case scenarios here that I want to explore. The first one, she married that guy and gets stuck in that abusive relationship. People like that, right? Mm-hmm. Or I've heard of such relationship. That's number one. Number two, she will go with that guy and got tired of getting beat up, right? And so maybe get another guy. And there's two reactions I've seen in those women that talk to me. The first one, the most common one, is this one. Dr. Salis, don't talk to me about men anymore. I'm done with them. They're not good for me. I'm done. I don't want any more men in my life. It's over. It's kind of like there's a fire and you put your finger once, you put your finger twice, and after, oh, that burn, I'm done, right? I'm not going to put my finger anymore, right? Yes. But also there's another way, right? And so what is that way? It's like, because we can heal from life experiences, right? Yes. So if that woman heal, that's what will happen. She will attract a man that is it is the opposite, totally different. He's going to be kind to her, honest to her, supportive of her, treat her as an equal, right? That's when, and that's how you know that you have been healed.
Yes.
And that's now case scenario number 3. So case scenario number 3, she can come to see me and we can literally deprogram all that, because your mind, we can compare your mind to a computer if you want. If you look at your brain is more of a hard drive.
Yes.
Right? It's the physical aspect of a computer, if you want. And after the software is your subconscious mind.
Yes.
The output of your software is your conscious mind.
Mm-hmm.
And the behavior is reflecting on the screen of life.
Yes.
So we've got two kinds of programming, right? Programming that are serving us, right? It's kind of your mind is working for you instead of against you, right? And we call that empowering belief.
Mm.
And after, we've got another kind of programming, which is basically your mind is working against you, right? And it's more negative programming. And those programming, they serve you for a while, but now they're not serving you any longer.
Yes.
And we call that limiting belief.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if your software is full of empowering belief, You ask me, hey, Alain, how you doing? I say, oh, man, never better. I'm feeling good. Life is great. It's full of love. Look at all those people and all that, right?
Yeah.
But if I'm full of limiting belief,
Yes.
right? And so I've got, my programming, my software is not the best, right? So what I'm going to see on the screen of life, if you ask me how you doing, I say, oh, man. Zenzi, life is so tough, so challenging, so much suffering. Look at all those people suffering. So the way I perceive the reality is going to be tainted by my subconscious mind.
Right.
So that's important. When you know that, you understand how it works. So when you've got a program, it doesn't work for you. What do? You
Change
delete it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Delete the program. And you replace it by a program that's going to work for you. Well, I just described the 2-step of mind clearing.
Yes.
That's how complicated it is. It's very simple. So, but the problem, how can we do that, right? Yeah. Well, you have to understand, you have to speak the same language. I used to travel a lot, Zenzi, and the most frustration that I had is when I was talking to people in a foreign country and I couldn't communicate. We were not speaking the same language. It was so frustrated. And I feel that the same thing in my field, because if you want to get rid of limiting belief, you have to journal, you have to feel this, you have to feel that, better, lots of affirmation, so lots of repetition. So it means that we are not speaking the same language. So now the $1 million question is, what is the language of the subconscious mind? Well, your subconscious mind communicates with you via dreams. So what do you remember about the dreams? There's always a picture of a stereo picture associated with that. I never heard anybody, Dr. Salis, I remember only the smell of my dream. It just cannot work. That's why the subconscious mind is so much more powerful, because it stored data as picture with all the symbolism, all the archetype that there is that cannot even be described by words. So basically, I've got a few questions for you. First of all, what I want to say, if you put limiting belief and you go to Google and Google that, what you're going to see is this. Well, I'm not good enough. I'm too old to do this and that, those kind of things. And I say, yes, but negative programming is so much more than that. So my question, do you think that your mind can create pain in your body?
Of course.
Okay.
Because
do you think that your
program there?
Yeah, exactly. Do you think that your mind can create inflammation in your body?
It's programmed there because of what you put in there.
Do you think that your mind can create any symptom in your body?
Yes, because what you see, what you think, what the program is, it's put in there.
So I just described one of my programs, which is called body clearing.
Yeah.
That's addressed specifically for pain, but you won't see that on Google, right? You won't see on Google that all limiting belief can clear you of your pain and symptom and inflammation. You won't see that.
No.
Now, do you think that your mind, Zenzi, can prevent you to reach your goal?
Of course. It's the program. So
that's the goal and success clearing that I just described to you. So now we know that we need pictures, right? So basically, let's see, you've got neck pain, right? Because I use pain a lot to improve that technique. It took me 3 years to refine that technique. Why? Because pain, there's instant feedback. Either you've got pain or you don't, right? I mean, you cannot. So anyway, let's pretend you've got neck pain, right? And I say, okay, so what do you want to do? Step number one. Step number one, to keep it very simple, you want to get rid of what you don't want.
Exactly.
Right? So we want to delete. So what happened, I will say, okay, Zenzi, what you need to do, you need to visualize a picture in which you see yourself having lots of neck pain. That's it. So you visualize that, and after, what we'll do, I will help you to customize the program I created to delete it, right? And you are the one who's going to send the program to you in that picture.
Yes.
Right? So I'm empowering you, I'm giving you the technology, I'm guiding you to use your own power to heal yourself.
Mhm.
which is everything. All that 90% that are not using now, we can communicate with
Yes.
that and tell the subconscious mind, no, but I don't want this, I want that.
Mhm.
We don't need this anymore in my life, right? Okay, so step number one, right? Step number two, I will say, Zenzi, I want you to visualize the opposite of that picture.
Yeah.
And I want you to love that picture so you to see yourself, right? So whatever it is, that's your picture. It's not my business. Okay. So after I will help you to customize your download program, and you will download that into your subconscious mind
Mind. Yeah.
to replace your limiting belief. Yes, meaning you don't have to know what are the limiting belief,
That's it.
because who cares what you want? It's what you don't want, if I can say
That's
that,
it.
right? You want to get rid of what you don't want, because how do you think you're going to do if you're going to use 5 or 10% of your mind, which is your analytical mind, to crack the code of 90% of your mind power? The odds are not for you. They're pretty much against you, right? That's why it doesn't work. That's why it's so hard. That's why so many repetitions. You see what I mean? And so that's step number two. We download what we want. And step number three, we want to create. Remember the screen of life? You want to manifest that into your screen of life. You want to
Yes.
make sure that you will be pain-free in your neck,
Yes.
right? And so you do a session. Most of the people, I would say 80% of people, they have no more pain after an hour, right? But the pain can come back. Why? Well, it's because it's different. I call that resistance of healing. Let's see,
Yes.
after you tell me, you know what, Dr. Salas, I went and I started to stay in my computer for more than an hour and the pain came back. I say, oh,
Mhm.
okay, that's easy. Any other circumstances, emotional or physical or whatever, that created the pain again?
Mhm.
Yes, and we've got 2 or 3. Those are free resistance of healing. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to deprogram, reprogram, and make sure. And after 70 to 80% of the people have no more pain within 2 sessions, and it doesn't come back.
Well done. Well done. Yes.
So that's how powerful your mind is. It's like we communicating. We just can tell now finally what we want to our subconscious mind, because basically what those limiting are coming from, they're coming from trauma, right? Like
Yeah.
that woman we talk about, that childhood trauma, right? But
Yes.
also they can come from challenges, we couldn't
Yes.
deal with that. And all these programs are running behind the scene all the time. So if you allow me, I'm going to zoom out now, right? And I want to zoom out like this. Visualize that there's the sun. And the
Yes.
sun is your divine aspect of you, right? It's like all there is. We can call that God, awareness, whatever your beliefs are. It doesn't really matter. But I want you know what I'm talking about, right? It's all there is and has ever been.
Yeah.
And after a spark of that sun, become your spirit. And
Mhm.
all this is non-duality. There's no judgment. There's no good and bad. It's all there is. And
Yes.
after you've got the sky, and after you've got you and me, right? Our
Mhm.
physical body, right? Some people, Zenzi, they've got so many clouds. They say the sun doesn't even exist.
Oh my
I've,
God.
I never heard of it. I mean, I never felt it. I've never experienced it.
Done.
You see what I mean?
It's blocked.
And so what happened exactly? So it's blocked by what? The limiting belief of the
Yes.
cloud.
Yes.
So we start to remove those cloud, those limiting belief, and now you can take a glimpse at the sun. You can feel the warmth of the sun,
So,
right? And more we get rid of limiting belief, and what happened? You get more connected to your spirit.
it.
If you get more connected to your spirit, it means you've got less limiting belief. So visualize a triangle like this.
Yes.
And inside the triangle, there's an empowering belief, right?
Mhm.
So on the top of a triangle, you're going to have positive thought.
Yes.
On the right base of a triangle, you're going to have supportive emotion that will match the positive thought.
Yes.
And on the left side of a triangle, you're going to have desirable behavior and
Mhm.
productive action.
Yes.
Because we caught up on those loop, our limiting belief, right? What happened is like, let me give you an example of the opposite. Let's see, my limiting belief is like, I'm a loser,
Yeah.
right? I'm going to think I'm a loser because I've been told, my dad told me I'm a loser. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking I'm a loser. I feel like a loser. I behave like a loser.
Like a loser.
And so what kind of result I'm going to get? Loser result.
Yeah.
And what's going to happen after? I'm going to feel even more I'm a loser, oh God, again. And I'm going to thought my thinking was being, man, I knew I was a loser, but that bad. So that's going to reinforce what I call the subconscious
Yes.
stress loop.
Yes.
Running all the time.
Yes.
So who is in control?
The mind, not you.
The subconscious mind, to be specific, and to be even more specific, our limiting belief.
Yes.
That are acquired from the past. So it's our
Yes.
past that is in control. So
Yes.
our past define our present and
Yes.
mold our future.
Yes.
So in order, if you want to change your present and your future, you have to get rid of delete those limiting belief and replace them by empowering belief. Does it make sense to you?
Of course. Yes. Because as you just said, the past defines what you do. And because you continue doing it, it defines your future. So what you have to do is go into the past and redefine that and bring it forward.
Like with a little girl.
Yes.
The present, she's living an abusing relationship and she still attract the same thing. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Alain, I'm sure what you have given us are golden nuggets. And I'm sure those who are listening to this podcast have got so much from those golden nuggets. I know I have. And you are doing such fantastic work, and it's taken time, but you are part of what I say, the light workers that are here at present on earth at our present time to help us to show the different tools that we can use and why we're doing what we're doing, but also to help us to know how we can change. Alain, if people wanted to get hold of you to talk to you, do you do sessions over the internet?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Because you are the one doing the healing, right? And so I want to add one more thing about what you say about the light workers and all that.
Yes.
That's something that I think we are now, it's kind of a privilege in a way to live in our time because we are on a crossroad.
Yes.
And so either we go with transhumanism, right? They want to put implant in ourselves, controlled by AI, but that's people's choice. That's people's choice.
Yes.
Lots of people are going to choose that, right?
That's
or either, I think this technique came because either we reconnect to our spirit and we got that, communication again, and we can talk language than our spirit and get connected. So that's why this kind of technology is coming now. Yes. Because this become a true choice. Now we've got the technology to really connect to our spirit, get rid of our trauma, and use and become 100% spirit living, like you say, a spirit living a physical experience, which is our true nature.
And you're quite right, because we are spiritual beings with a physical body having a human experience, and we are a creation and carry the DNA of the Most High. We have that power within us to heal ourselves, but we have forgotten, and we've been made to feel so inferior that we need the medicine, we need this, we need that, because we can't. We have forgotten that we have the knowledge, the know-how, that we can correct what is inside of us to be the being we're meant to be, because we're not living our full capacity.
Because we have been told a lie. We have been told we are only our self-identity.
Yeah, we only are.
That's a problem.
And we're like mice. We can't do this and we can't do that. And you need these other things to just be a little better. But actually, the being we are, we're so powerful. We should not be ill. And if we are ill, we have the knowledge to know what to correct and how to correct it.
That's so true.
We belong to the creator. The creator doesn't create rubbish. Creator created so perfect and beautiful. But somehow along the line, we became disconnected, and therefore we've then been programmed to be inferior. So we now have to change that program, but it must resonate with you at your subconscious level. It's there back. So you have to raise your consciousness to realize who you are, and then get up and fight, get up and feel it and do, and not waver, because there's always things there to sway us and push us back and to disconnect us, and we mustn't allow that. So it is an individual thing for those who are awake now, who are ready. That calling is inside, and this is why there's Alain, there's me, and there's so many others are coming out to the forefront to let you know, all of us, that power's within us, and we are greater than we are. And Elaine and myself and so many are speaking up to give you different ways and sources to help yourself. And it can be a stage by stage, and it's okay. But become aware of that we are capable of healing ourselves. And we don't need all those implants, because energy is there. Alain, how can people contact you, please?
So they go to my website. It's called themindclearing.com, themindclearing.com. They go into contact, right? And on the contact, they, because here's the things. We can talk about that forever. But if you don't experience it, it's like knowledge, okay? It's a fantasy in your head. But, I will encourage to get a treatment with me. It takes an hour, whatever you want to get rid of. Anxiety, depression, some emotion you don't like, some thought that you have that you don't like, some pain, some symptom, whatever it is, we'll work on that. Like that, you will understand how powerful you truly are.
Yeah.
Because that's how when you realize that you are the one that, with some guidance from me, of course, you have been healing yourself, nobody else. Like we always waiting for the savior, I'm going to tell you something. The savior you have been waiting for is looking at you if you look at yourself in the mirror. You are the one you have been waiting for. So you need to take action. So I will give you 20% discount if you mention Zenzi podcast, right, for treatment. And if you want to learn it, because this is accessible for everybody, right? It's for lay people, right, individual, but it's also for coaches and health professionals who want to have deeper result, right? I mean, they really want to make a difference in the world, right? And so that's for them too, of course. But you can learn that technique and empower yourself to do it and help your loved one. You don't need to see medical doctor for that. You can help your loved one, right? And so if you want to do that, if you want to learn the entire program, which is mind clearing basic, which is goal and success clearing and body clearing, I will give you 50% off the entire program.
Okay. And how much is the program?
Well, as we speak, I'm changing it. It's like for the mind clearing is 1,800.
Okay, so if they go to your website, and can you repeat that again? So if they go to your website, because you're updating everything, so if they go to
contact, and they send me an email, or there's a form there that fill out, and that's how we get in touch for whatever they want. And why we can treat her online? Well, because I'm just guiding you. You are the one using your pictures, right? So it can be anywhere, it doesn't matter.
Okay, fine. So for all of those who have listened today, Alain is going to give you a discount. So please contact him, as you've heard him say. If you want to do the course, he will give you a 50% discount. If you want to just have a treatment from him, he will give you a 20% discount. So please contact him at mindclearing.com.
themindclearing.com.
themindclearing.com. And then when you get
Exactly.
in, go to contact and you can connect with him that way. Alain, you have given us such wonderful gold nuggets. I have really enjoyed this, and I know those who are listening have got so much from this. Have you got any, have you created any books or anything that people may want to read?
No,
or?
I'm working on the, I had a book before, but it was more about the brain because I did study the brain, brain power secret. But that's what we're talking about. That's going to be in that book because like that, I can see the way you're reacting, what you like, what you like less, or things like that. And so I did develop my content for the book that's hopefully is going to come very soon.
Good. So let's keep in touch. And as you said, themindclearing.com, and you go to Alain's site, click on contact, and you can connect with him there. Alain, thank you so much.
Thank you, Zenzi. It was so
for explaining. And so I'm sure we're going to be in contact and keep in contact. So everybody, thank you very much for this podcast. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.